He's the upbeat, fun-loving guy who started his career on YouTube and quickly shot to stardom. Just 1 month after making his first YouTube video, Kalen Allen was invited to tape an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. From there, he became an Ellen regular. Now he has his own podcast with Ricki Lake called Raised by Ricki. We're chatting with Kalen all about his booming career and more. This is Advocate Now. Kalen, it is so great to have you back on the show. And last time we chatted all about your podcast with Ricki Lake, but you've had so much success over the past few years. So I want to get into all of that. You started your career on YouTube in November of 2017. What made you sit down to film that first video?
Oh, that's to be honest, it was probably like Tinkerbell up in the sky. That was by accident. That was just an internal feeling that I had, and I just followed my instincts and posted it. So that was all by accident. So that was not intentional.
Yeah, I love that you talk about following your instincts, because we talk a lot about passion and purpose and the divine path on this show. And you've shared that you believe that you're being divinely guided. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, you know, a lot of things in my life, especially when it comes to my career, have been full circle moments, or they've been things that I've just had a feeling or a gut instance, you know, and then I just followed them, and then it's led to wonderful and amazing opportunities, you know what I mean? And I think also when you work in this industry, you can't try to have too much control, because it's always changing, it's always evolving. You know, there's always a reason why you didn't get this job or why you did get this job. And so I try to just trust that my journey has already been written, and I'm just following the steps to get me to where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. Well, just a month after your debut YouTube video, you taped your first episode on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. And, you know, I believe when we are on the right path, to what you're saying, life just flows. So how do you know when you're on the right path? What are the signs or the feelings that tell you, you know, this is where I'm meant to be?
You know, I can usually feel it in my entire being. It usually feels calm. It feels confident. For instance, like I recently just did a Netflix movie, and when I was on set and everything, like I felt the excitement. You know, I can also tell by when I wake up in the morning, if I'm excited to go to work. You know what I mean? If I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go, or if I want to hang out, or I just want to be around the people that I'm working with, that is a big signal to me that I'm doing something that feels right to me.
I love that you say that you feel calm, because intuition is a sense of calm. It is that calm feeling, and it's usually fear or the wrong path. That's that frantic feeling, you know. But
Right.
you later became a regular on the Ellen Show, and your career has only blossomed since then. As we mentioned before, you're a co-host on Raised by Ricki with Ricki Lake. Was the chemistry between you two almost instantaneous?
with me and Ricki?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I remember going in to do the pilot. It was more like an audition, and I went in there, and it was me and Ricki, and it was the last minute thing. They had auditioned some other people, and I went in and we did it. And even before we finished recording, Ricki was like, I want him to do it. Like, she was very set on that from the beginning. But yes, me and Ricki had chemistry out the wazoo.
Yeah, and your personality really shines through in your work, especially on the podcast. You just exude so much joy. And, you know, we're taught from a young age that hard work is the most important ingredient for success. And that's no doubt important. But what role do you think joy has in success?
Oh, joy. I think joy is beginning, middle, and end. You know,
Yeah.
I think even when you think about, like, if you build something out of pain and out of trauma, like that only lasts you so long,
So
you
true.
know, but joy can be infinite, you know, if you create the spaces and put yourself in situations that bring you joy, you know what I mean? And I think for me, especially with the content that I make and the jobs that I have, it's important that I maintain my own joy so that I can bring joy to other people.
Yeah, I believe that joy is the foundation for success, and maintaining that childlike wonder. It
Mm.
plays such a big role. And speaking of that, looking back on your childhood, you were involved in theater. You're
Mhm.
now starring in the upcoming Netflix rom-com Meet Me Next Christmas. What do you think the young Kalen who was involved in theater would say if he knew what was coming for you?
Oh my gosh. You know, I think young Kalen he would just love that I never gave up on the dream or the aspiration, and that I still haven't given up, that I'm still redrafting dreams and figuring out, well, what's next? How do we grow? Where do we go from here? You know what I mean? I think he would be amazed at all the opportunities and everything that has just happened for him, you know?
And you did find success at a young age, but you also hustled to get where you are now. Was there a backup plan, or did you always know that you'd be working in entertainment in some form?
Oh, there was no backup plan. It was always it was going to be
This
entertainment or nothing else. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Whether that was, and I think that's also like, for like you talked about me doing theater, like I studied theater and film, right, in college. And the reason why I did that was because I knew I wanted to work in the entertainment, whether that was me being a writer, a producer, a director, or any of that, is that I wanted to make sure that I could do any job within the entertainment industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and do you think that that focus and that drive you had played such a large role in getting you where you are now? Because it's
Mhm.
really all about where you're putting your energy, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Because even to this day, when I work with my team and I'm in all these rooms, I enter them as a CEO. I don't enter them as talent. I don't enter them as in just like hand me a script and I'll just perform. I don't do it that way. I am very hands-on with every single aspect, even as far as like even marketing. Like usually if I'm pitching an idea, I already know how I want to market it. You know what I mean? So I'm very hands-on. And I feel like that's also how you keep longevity within the career as well.
I love that. Was there someone in your life who helped you cultivate the confidence to pursue your dreams, or was it just always that internal knowing?
Well, I would honestly have to say, you asked me about a plan B. I think it was the fact that my mother never made me have a plan B. My
Mm.
mother always made me believe that I could be successful in it because I loved it, and I think because I never even thought of anything else, that was just like the only road. You know what I mean? The way that I look at it is just like when somebody wants to be a doctor, they go to be a doctor, but they don't think, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna be a lawyer. You know what I mean? It's like, no, this is what they're passionate about. This is what they want to do. This is what they love.
Well, it was recently announced you're going to be serving as a judge on the upcoming cooking competition show, Celebrity Family Cook-Off, executive produced by Sofia Vergara. What drew you to that project, and what are you most excited about in terms of
We
filming?
Well, I love doing food, and I've done so many Food Network shows, and then I was trying to find something that gave me a little more leeway to add a little bit more personality, because I think what's hard about, Food Network shows is that a lot of times we have, real chefs, and these people are coming in there, they got restaurants, they got food trucks, they are taking it very seriously, and I'm a very serious person, but I like to have a little fun. I like to, shake things up a little bit. And so what I'm excited about this project is the fact that we will have celebrities that are not professional cooks, and that we get to have a little bit more fun with them to see what kind of craziness will go on, which I think will be a great fit for my personality and the things that I gravitate towards.
Absolutely. We love to watch you have fun, Kalen. So we can't wait to see it. Thank you again for joining us once again. Everybody keep an eye out for the release date of Celebrity Family Cook-Off, and make sure you catch Kalen on the Raised by Ricki podcast. Thank you again. So great talking to you.
Thank you.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. Thanks for watching and advocating. For more stories and content like this, visit advocate.com and advocatechannel.com. On Monday, GLAAD's Toni Morrison opens up about what we can all do to protect the trans community. That's Monday on Advocate Now. What can we as allies do to help join the fight?
I was thinking about this just this morning about what we can do. And a lot of times it feels really out of reach when we are trying to make change with huge tech companies or with big names. But I think it's just dialing in to what is the queer existence. It's about sharing our stories. So in addition to calling your elected officials and speaking out at school boards and making local elections count, it really is just about sharing your stories. Where have you been affected? How have you been affected? How have you been affected by hate online? Sharing our stories, whether it's just posting about it or talking to your neighbors about it around your community, or even calling your local reporters. This is where local news, I think, is really powerful also. It's really about sharing your story, as painful as that might be.
The Advocate channel is here to be a voice for underserved and underrepresented LGBTQ+ and BIPOC communities. Join the conversation. Subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Download our Roku and Fire TV app. Take us with you. Get the Advocate channel app on your Apple or Android device. Thanks for watching. I'm Sonia Baghdadi. There's more Advocate Channel after the break.